Good morning, television family. It's good to see you again. Happy Thursday, 14th day of May, 2020. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host, dealing with some overcast skies, some light sprinkle dinkles. We're at 50 degrees, and that's really the story all day today. What we have right now is going to be happening all day. Light rain, intermittent rain off and on pretty much all day today, and early spilling in to the evening hours. A beautiful Friday in store, cloudy, but mild on Saturday, and then significant rain is in the forecast on Sunday. And as we mentioned this before, we need rain. We are way behind where we should be for the rainy season. The National Weather Service begins their measurement of what they call the rainy season, if you will, starting on October 1st, and we're like almost 3 inches behind our expected normal rainfall anyway. From back on October 1st up through today. We're way behind that. We need rain. We're going to get some over the weekend. Not going to see a lot of sun, though. Started sprinkling lightly here in downtown Wenatchee about 4:15 or so by my estimations. It's been intermittently sprinkling. Again, no significant rain, just light sprinkles since then, and that's what we're going to have all day today. Forecast details are coming up. There's a lot of news to get to. Parking in downtown Leavenworth is going to become a bit of an issue starting tomorrow. That'll be our lead story. We got quite a bit of sports to get to as well. One of the Kashmir High School standout basketball players has decided where she's going to be playing her college days. We'll have that. That'll be our lead sports story. Plus, we have the obscure holiday. My Magnati's Gone in Opinion, some celebrity birthdays today in history. And one of the gubernatorial candidates seeking the GOP nomination to unseat Governor Jay Inslee was in town last week. His name is Joshua Freed. He is the former mayor of Bothell. He was doing a little mini tour around the Northwest, and he had a chance to drop by our studios late last week, I believe, and he said, or maybe it was earlier this week, I can't remember now. The days are starting to blur together. But Mr. Freed had a chance to sit down with our very own news director, FitzSimmons, for a brief little interview. We'll have that for you in the back half of the hour. A couple minutes after the hour, let's take our tour, see what's happening out there, and that's what's happening out there. The clouds are pretty high. The upper level low pressure system is an upper level one, so there's a low pressure system right off the coast, and it's working its way in to the Pacific Northwest through north central Washington and eventually off to the Lilac City of Spokane. So the system itself, it's a low pressure system and it's spinning counterclockwise, but it's kind of up in the atmosphere a little bit, which is why we're going to have light rain, but continuous light rain for most of the day today, and the clouds are a slate gray on this Thursday morning. 50 degrees is about right. Yesterday's high was 69. Yesterday was about as normal as you can get. Our high Wednesday was 69. Normally it would be at 70. Our low yesterday was 49. Normally at 48. So it was normal, as normal can be in these unnormal times. Sunrise this morning, 5:25. I know. I was there. I saw it. Sunset tonight, 8:31. 15 hours and 6 minutes of daylight today. But again, sun not going to be seen today. Beautiful view of the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera, which always begins our festivities. That's a 4K camera, by the way, 4 times the resolution as a normal camera. It still looks pretty good to me. Camera number 2, where are we off to, Megan? She gets to decide, and I get to guess, and I'm guessing, I don't know. That's the Tumwater camera, but why didn't I recognize that? You think I would have recognized that. So somewhere down there is Leavenworth. Good morning, Leavenworth. It's good to have you on board. I wonder how the Bavarian Village is holding up, because so many of those shops, of course, are not really considered essential. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, the mayor has decided to, well, close its downtown streets to parking. And that starts tomorrow. That'll be our lead story. Good morning, Leavenworth, as we look to the west. Camera number 3. Oh, what's that one? Help me out. Small Town Tower. That's right. That's basically below the Knapp's Hill Tunnel along the Columbia River is what that is. It's a beautiful view. That's a low camera. I don't think that's actually on a Sky-Fi tower site. I think that might just be a standalone camera. We have a couple of those that are not on Sky-Fi towers. The other one is the Orondo Rock camera, which is all by itself. It's not attached to a Sky-Fi tower. Cool view, though, of the mighty Columbia. Heading up north. Ooh, wow, that bird almost flew into the screen. Camera number, where are we, 4? Camera 4. That looks to be Valley High. Hey, hi Valley High. How are you? Eric, I haven't seen Eric in a long time. Eric Granstrom had a chance to come by and enjoyed lunch with us yesterday. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. And he said the Shaston Creek, which of course runs along Blewett Pass and dumps out into the Wenatchee River at the Big Y. He said it's running pretty high, and most of the rivers are running pretty high, obviously, this time of the year. We'll talk about that when we get to the weather forecast. Good morning to Valley High. As you can see, the truck in the lower right-hand corner heading on up Blewett Pass, which was named after, of course, the great explorer Jerry Pass. All right, that's a tour around the Wenatchee Valley. We mentioned we got a couple of slides, again, from the National Weather Service. Still keeping an eye on a couple of rivers in our viewing area, specifically the Okanagan River where it meets up at Tenasket, and the Stehekin River at Stehekin. So the weather, the temperatures have been pretty normal for this time of the year, but the snowmelt continues up in British Columbia. The snow's got to go someplace. So the many rivers and streams and creeks in our areas are rising, but they're rising gently and slowly and gradually. The two differences is the Stehekin, the Okanagan, and the Kettle River, by the way, but they're expected to crest by Friday before dropping. Not expecting any floods. They're going to be near bank full, but not over the banks at this point. That's what it's looking like. But with the rising rivers from the spring snowmelt and the addition of some significant rainfall coming our way on Sunday, it's going to be the focus of attention for us on Sunday and Monday. So heads up there. What's the weekend looking like? Again, a nice little slide from the National Weather Service. Thanks for giving us this, guys. We appreciate that. Lots of clouds on Saturday. You'll start out Saturday morning with some sunshine, but the clouds will be rolling in. Could see some light showers along the Cascade Crest. We should be dry here in the Wenatchee Valley, but Sunday is another story altogether. We're going to get rain. We have a pretty good chance of maybe even a stray thunderstorm. That's the story on Sunday. Sunday is going to be one of those hunker down kind of days. If you want to go out and practice safe social distancing outside, tomorrow is your day. Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling gives your home a hug, and here we go. Here's your forecast from the National Weather Service. Again, it's a persistent, unsettled, wet weather all day today as that low pressure system starts sliding through. Light rain, no significant rain, but it's going to rain off and on pretty much all day today, anywhere between a tenth and a quarter of an inch of rain possible. I don't think we're going to get to a quarter of an inch of rain, but we're going to have measurable rain today. Of that, we're pretty sure of, and a high today of about 65 degrees. So rain tonight, yeah, a little bit. It should be tapering off about 9 o'clock. Eventually, the clouds will be departing. We'll drop down to about 47 degrees. Not expecting any thunderstorms or significant rain event tonight, tomorrow, all day Friday. We're looking good. Lots of sunshine, high of 74, but the high pressure it's going to give us the sunshine. It's not nearly strong. It's going to be coming in and coming out before you know it. But Friday is by far the best looking day of the forecast for the next 3 or 4 days. Friday night, mostly clear, 50 for the overnight low. You'll wake up Saturday to sunshine, but it's not going to last very long. By noon, we'll have lots of clouds, and we could even see a raindrop on Saturday and a high of 74 degrees. Saturday night, good chance of rain. That's when the next big rain event happens. It'll be overnight Saturday night into Sunday. We'll dip down to about 53 for the overnight low, and then Sunday, rain. Quite a bit of rain. Showers, thunderstorms, lightning possible. Not a significant rain event. Again, the thing to really keep a close eye on Sunday, especially Sunday afternoon, late in the afternoon with the warmest part of the day, is lightning strikes. We don't want that. 49 for the overnight low on Sunday. Monday, about a 60% chance of rain, but probably not a thunderstorm. I mean, it's out there. The possibility is out there, but we have a much better chance of a stray thunderstorm on Sunday afternoon than we do on Monday afternoon. Tuesday, partly cloudy. Wednesday, back to the sunshine. So conditions are deteriorating today. Beautiful day tomorrow. Rain a little bit on Saturday. Rain definitely Saturday night. Pretty much pretty consistent light rain all day Sunday. Again, the possibility of a late afternoon thunderstorm on Sunday cannot be ruled out. That's a look at your weather forecast. In 9 minutes after the hour, going to take a break, so grab your cup of coffee, and we will be back in 1 minute to fill your head full of the information you need to start your Thursday. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guest for, well, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel.
Good to see you again. 11 minutes after the hour. Light rain, 50 degrees. We'll have intermittent light showers, kind of sprinkles, if you will, all day today. Highs only in the mid-60s, so it's going to be cooler than normal. Lots of sunshine coming our way on Friday, and then things turn unsettled again for the weekend. Let's take a look at what's making news on this Thursday. Mayor Carl Floria has already closed all the parks in Leavenworth in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now the Bavarian Village will close its busiest downtown streets to vehicles and parking starting tomorrow morning, and they're going to keep them closed for the foreseeable future. Mayor Floria spoke with our very own Jefferson Robbins and explained his decision.
This past weekend, there was 80%, I would say, it wasn't stuffed full, but 80% of the parking spaces in the downtown were full. People then just walking on the sidewalks, not being able to, socially space and not attempting to. And quite frankly, not enough masks being worn. And that really has me concerned because, we are unique in that we are asking people to come here from the four corners and visit us. It's a melting pot, if you would, of virus activity, and it certainly could be. So we have got to get control of that, and we've got to set a pattern that's much more safety oriented. For our guests, for our workers, for our business, for our residents. I mean, we have all of those that we have got to get right. As I tell the business community over and over, we've got one chance to open this thing up. And if we don't do it right, if it comes back in a big way, this virus, it's going to be worse. I mean, the only thing worse than not opening is opening and then watching it have to shut back down again, and maybe be longer the next time than we've got now.
Well, Leavenworth businesses, from hotels to restaurants to taverns, all are to knick-knack shops, all are built on don't stay away, please come. So what are you hearing from the business community since your letter went out just yesterday on the 12th of May?
Well, and I've been meeting with businesses long before that. So like I said, we've been talking about solutions and how to open up. And I hand it to them. They get it. They know that they've got to do this right. And I've had what I call a focus group that's made up both a medical representative from Chelan Douglas Health Districts on it, our local hospital, as well as the businesses. We're all talking. We've been talking. And for the most part, like I said, they get it. They're anxious to open up, but they also know that we've got to do it right.
Leavenworth came back from economic devastation by becoming a tourist village. Do you have concerns that this kind of thing is going to be a detriment to its long-term health?
In getting elected, I talked about what does a sustainable tourism economy look like. And I think this is going to help us to have those discussions. A sustainable tourism economy is not one that just insists on continuing to grow and expand and get bigger and whatever. It's a quality of experience that you want to go for. And I think we need to diversify. We need some other, if you would, kind of light industrial or light manufacturing. I mean, a good example is the Icicle Brewing that has a new facility outside of the downtown core. They started in their one shop downtown. Now they've got a big facility out on County Shop Road. So I think there's other opportunities for similar that could be woven into our culture and our tourism, but also semi-independent of that, so that it could be and would expand our economic, if you would, beyond just a sole reliance on tourism.
And again, those barricades for the downtown core streets in Leavenworth will go up tomorrow morning and will stay there for the foreseeable future. Other news this morning, a 27-year-old Shasta man was arraigned Wednesday on second-degree murder charges in the death of a toddler 2 weeks ago in Yakima County. Police and prosecutors believe Torrance Chip Ogle inflicted injuries on the 15-month-old child of his girlfriend, and that led to the boy's death. Ogle remains in the Yakima County Jail on $1 million bond. EMTs were called to the West Valley apartment back on April 27th when the toddler stopped breathing. The boy died that same day after being transferred to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. Investigators say he died due to blunt force trauma consistent with abuse, which left him with several skull fractures. An East Wenatchee man allegedly followed another driver in traffic and displayed a pistol to threaten him. Ricardo Andreas Medina, who is 22, remains in the Chelan County Jail on a $25,000 bond. Wenatchee police say on Monday afternoon, Medina pulled alongside another man's car at the intersection of Cherry and Miller, warned him to stay away from his partner, and either held up or pointed a handgun at the victim. A judge ordered Medina held Tuesday on suspicion of second-degree assault. He has not yet been formally charged with a crime. 2 new deaths due to COVID-19 have been reported in the Wenatchee Valley, one of them the youngest so far. The Chelan Douglas Health District reported yesterday a man in his 50s died from the virus. Previously, the youngest of the 9 deaths attributed to coronavirus in the two-county area was no younger than 60. The health district reports the ages of coronavirus victims as a range. 4 of the local deaths have been patients aged 90 or older. The other person most recently pronounced dead from the disease was a woman who was aged 60 to 79. The Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest is reminding visitors its recreation areas are still closed, saying heavy guest use is continuing despite COVID-19 closures. The U.S. Forest Service managers published images Tuesday on their Facebook page of parking lots full of cars at National Forest locations. They want users to avoid crowding while they make use of the backcountry. Closures in the forest include all developed recreation areas, trailheads, campgrounds, day use areas, restrooms, snow parks. If an area is crowded, the Forest Service says, hey, just go out and find another location. Fire officials say children playing with matches started a wildfire that threatened structures and vehicles just outside of Ephrata. This happened shortly after noon on Tuesday. Grant County Fire District 13 and Ephrata firefighters were able to contain the fire. This happened in the 12,000 block of Road C5 Northwest. The fire limited to a couple of acres. None of the homes or vehicles were damaged. I mentioned this yesterday. It's worth mentioning again. Seasonal snow clearing of the North Cascades Highway that links eastern and western Washington was completed. The highway opened on the 12th, 2 days ago at 10 a.m. The Department of Transportation says because the North Cascades Highway is a main east-west transportation route, clearing of snow was deemed essential, even as much of the road work, of course, was stopped back on March 26 because of the statewide stay-home order to limit the spread of the coronavirus. Highway 20 traverses Washington Pass and Rainy Pass, goes over the Cascades, connects the Skagit Valley with the Methow Valley. By the way, a quick heads up, the North Cascades National Park, however, is closed, so if you want to take the North Cascades Highway, and it's a long drive, your ability to pull over and enjoy some of the scenery is going to be limited. Finally, this morning, a community effort is underway to send a special thanks to essential workers during the COVID-19 pandemic. North Central Accountable Community of Health. They're asking people to nominate their favorite essential worker who will then have a chance to receive a gift card to a local business. Dominic Bonney of Digital Media Northwest produced a video highlighting some of those workers and explained how you can nominate an essential worker.
It's times like these that we all ask ourselves, what really matters? With public health in jeopardy and uncertainty rampant, while states and the nation prepared for the worst, you stayed on the job because you had to. You kept the shelves stocked. You kept the mail coming. You kept the garbage from piling up. You fed the hungry. You were there, on call if we needed you in an emergency. You kept us protected, and still are. You put yourself in harm's way, for us and for our families. You informed us, and still are. You keep the supply chains running. You get vital aid to those who need it most. You harvest and process our food. You keep our economy running. The world isn't over, but it has changed. What we all do next really matters. How we react to our present situation really matters. How we treat each other matters. Showing gratitude matters.
Now the trumpet summons us again, not as a call to bear arms, though arms we need, not as a call to battle, though in battle we are, but a call to bear the burden of a long twilight struggle, year in and year out, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, a struggle against the common enemies of man, tyranny, poverty, disease, and war itself.
Share your gratitude on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram with the hashtag ThankNCW and go to thankncw.com and nominate your favorite essential worker. Fill out the form and tell us about who you're nominating and why, and they could receive a gift card to a local business. Support essential workers, support local businesses, and support each other. ThankNCW.com.
Good stuff from our friend Dominic. Excellent work there. Speaking of gift cards, one last item of business, some housekeeping to take care of. One of our viewers bought us lunch yesterday, and boy, did we appreciate it. It wasn't just any lunch, it was Abby's Pizza, my favorite pizza. So the crew that was able to come on in to the broadcast Metroplex, as you well know, we're broadcasting on a daily basis, but we're doing it in a new and unique way because we have to, so we're not really all gathered together in the bullpen as we normally would, but as many people as could safely gather came together yesterday afternoon and enjoyed free lunch. Abby's Pizza, courtesy of Sue and Mark. They even wrote us a nice little note. I'm not going to mention Sue and Mark's last name. I told the Neils I wouldn't mention it on television, but thank you very much for the pizza. It hit the spot. They even wrote us a little note here, and I'm quoting directly from the card that they sent us. Thank you for all your local reporting of the news. Request more Wenatchee Wild hockey games. They're huge supporters of local sports. Sue and Mark are. Wenatchee Apple Sox, Wenatchee Wild games, big supporters of the local athletes and the local teams. So enjoy, Sue and Mark. And it goes on to say, P.S. Try and limit the amount of camera time for your handsome morning show hostie as a distraction for your female viewers. I may have embellished that last part a little bit. And by embellished, I mean I made it up. In any event, thanks for the pizza. It was much appreciated, and we always appreciate our viewers. We really, really do. We're working on another newscast tonight. We work on a newscast every Monday through Friday. It's remarkable how we were able to cobble that together with a preview of what you can watch tonight at 5, 6, and 10. The anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, the latest local news on all things COVID-19. I'll have your wet North Central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will have a look at the day's sports. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. And again, we love and appreciate our viewers. Look at the bottom of your screen. That's the numerous ways, any one of the numerous ways you can get a hold of us. You can go to our Facebook page and drop us a line via Facebook Messenger. You can go directly to our website at ncwlife.com. Not only can you drop us a note via the Contact Us icon, but you can also go back and watch any of our shows. We have archived almost every show that we have produced here at the NCW Life channel. We have archived them. You can watch them there whenever you want. An old newscast, an Apple Blossom Parade, a basketball game, whatever it is, it's all there. Or if you want to drop us a line via email, you can do so. Our email address is news@ncwlife.com. We're going to take a break. Where is Grace Hammond going to go to college? Not too far. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I'm a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
Hi, my name is Todd Mill with the Rail Station and Ale House in Wenatchee. During this time of the coronavirus pandemic, we're urging you to stay home, stay healthy, stay safe. As an essential business during this crisis, we're doing our best to serve meals to the children in this community for free to make sure that nobody goes hungry. When this crisis passes, and it's safe to do so, we hope you'll come down and join us at the rail station and ale house. But until then, stay home, stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you.
We have returned at 25 minutes after the hour. Still some light drizzle, still 50 degrees outside of our studios. We'll top off right around mid-60s, 64, 65 with continual light sprinkles pretty much all day today. Lots of sunshine Friday, unsettled weather on Saturday, and lots of rain and maybe a thunderstorm come Sunday. Let's talk about sports. Multi-sports star Grace Hammond decided to stay pretty close to home. She's going to continue her basketball career. She made that announcement yesterday. The Cashmere senior going to play for the Wenatchee Valley Lady Knights this fall. She signed her letter of intent. Hammond was a 4-year starter on Cashmere's dominant girls basketball team. The Bulldogs went 48-0 in league, 95-7 overall in her 4 seasons. She was a 3-time first-team All-Caribou Trail League selection. Of course, last year she was first-team All-State. Good. We'll get to see Grace play right here in the big city, we hope, come winter. Coaches and staff members of the Seattle Mariners were told this week that they are going to lose money, but they still get to keep their job anyway. The team informed their personnel working under uniform employee contracts that certain employees will have a 5-month reduction in pay, but there will be no furloughs or layoffs through the end of October. The pay reductions of at least 20% of her staff making $60,000 or more. The contract covers Major League coaching staff, coaches, coordinators in the minor league system, scouts, performance coaches, and so on. Those with larger salaries are expected to take a cut more significant than 20%. The team had previously told employees working under the contract that they would receive full pay through May 31st in light of the coronavirus pandemic. Humans are dealing with the coronavirus. Herds of elk in Washington are dealing with hoof rot disease. Yuck. An article in this morning's Yakima Herald Republic says one of 13 elk in the Yakima herd captured earlier this year had early stage elk hoof disease. It's the first case in the Yakima herd and the second in all of eastern Washington. The Wildlife Department chose to euthanize the infected elk to reduce the potential spread. That's according to Margaret Wild, who was Wazoo's lead scientist for the study of the untreatable disease. She said, and I'm quoting now, when you catch just 13 animals and one of them has a lesion, it makes you think it's likely not the only animal with a lesion in the herd. Obviously, the disease is much more widespread than we realized previously, end quote. In the state of Washington, confirmed cases of elk hoof rot have been found in all 10 herds, except the Clockham herd in Kittitas County and the Selkirk herd, which is north of Spokane. Hunters and wildlife watchers are encouraged to report any signs of hoof rot disease to the State Department of Fish and Wildlife. Washington State University, like everybody else, is hoping that once this pandemic goes away, they'll have a full 12-game football schedule come fall for the Cougars. But just in case, school is preparing ticket holders for the worst. The school's ticketing website posted a message to season ticket holders yesterday saying that they'll have 3 options if the football season is impacted by the pandemic. 1, they can donate the tickets and parking to the school as a gift. That will make it tax deductible. 2, they can get credit on this season's tickets and parking towards tickets and parking for next season. Or option 3, you can just get your money back. The message to Cougar fans comes a day after the California State University system announced it would be reverting to mostly online classes this fall. And that means 5 football-playing members that fall under the umbrella of California State University. Don't know what's going to happen to San Diego State, Fresno State, San Jose State, Cal Poly, and Sacramento State. Don't know if they're going to play football now. In addition, UCLA, Cal, and UC Davis only plan on partially reopening their campuses this fall. 2018 was a very special year for the Wenatchee Wild. Of course, it was year 10 in the den, the 10th season of amateur hockey here in Wenatchee at the Town Toyota Center. That year, the Wild finished only 3rd in the interior division of the BCHL, but they were gaining momentum. They were playing really good heading into the playoffs. In round 1, Wenatchee swept Merritt in 4 games, and they got rid of Vernon in the second round in a hard-fought 6-game series. And they dusted Trail in 5 games, and it was off to take on Prince George in the Fred Page Cup Finals. Oh, the memories. And, of course, tonight is Thursday night. That means hockey night And we're going to bring you Game 5 between the Wild and the Spruce Kings at the Town Toyota Center. This great game of our past was a great game. Trust me, the Wild gave Wenatchee something it never had before, a championship.
Top of the near circle. He looks, feeds it down low, tipped by Weatherby, backdoor, and score! Zach Golambus. Toba does have action tonight. We'll look at that a little bit later on. There's Causey with a shot, and that went off the pipe. Leaves it for Morton. He's in down low, shot and a save made. Rebound, shot blocked away. Golambus had a whack at it, and in traffic, it just didn't find its way through. Morton creeps down to the bottom of the circle, cycles it, one touch pass across, shot, score! Zach Golambus does it again. It's going to be Vanderbeck who muscles it just in across the line and throws it at the empty net. He scores! The captain, A.J. Vanderbeck. 10 seasons, 2 ownerships, 2 leagues, 3 head coaches, and one very special group of athletes that grew together to become a team. Wenatchee, you are home to an ice hockey champion. Your Wenatchee Wild are the BCHL 2018 Fred Page Cup champions.
Oh, great memories. It was a wonderful night. Bart Eckert, of course, our good friend, had the call right there. You can watch the game in its entirety starting at 7 o'clock tonight, right here on the NCW Live channel. I know Sue and Mark will be watching. See, we take requests here, apparently. Here's the schedule for the rest of the weekend, by the way. Tomorrow night, we got a girls' soccer night. It was so cold in Kashmir last October. We got it on the air. Kashmir hosting Cascade. That's at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow night on Sunday at 1:30, it's Wenatchee and Moses Lake Baseball from May of 2017 from Historic Recreation Park. That's followed at 6:30 Sunday. Apple Sox and Portland Pickles from last July. I'm sorry, that's Saturday. Sunday's lineup has Eastmont's girls soccer at the state tournament from last November against Meade. We'll have that for you at 2 o'clock, followed by the Wenatchee Wild and West Kelowna at 7. And that's a look at sports here at 33 minutes after the hour. We had 4, or I should say, I had 4 obscure holidays to choose from. Remember, obscure holidays. Today is National Buttermilk Biscuit Day. Today is National Underground America Day. Today is National Dance Like a Chicken Day. No way am I going to do that. No, today is National Decency Day. National Decency Day. Perfect timing. Webster's defines decency as consisting of or lasting for 10 years. Oh, that's decennial. I'm sorry. Looked up the wrong word. Here it is. Webster's defines decency as the quality or state of being decent. We could use a little decency, a little civility in our lives, not necessarily during these times, but at any time. There is a decency movement. It's a grassroots movement just to treat people decently, even if you don't like them. Conversations and actions and words are powerful. So practice a little decency if you haven't in a while. We could all use it. Happy National Decency Day. I'm all for that. 34 minutes after the hour. Let's move. What do you say? May 14th, 1800, 220 years ago today, Congress recessed, and the process of moving the United States government, the Capitol, and everything else from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. began on this date 220 years ago. And the only reason I bring it up is what's the first thing that you do when you move? I've moved any number of times in my adulthood. What's the first thing that you do? You go through your attic and your cellar, and you find all this stuff that you've had and you don't need it anymore, and you'll just want to get rid of it. I mean, what am I doing with this stuff, right? So my suggestion on the anniversary of moving the Capitol from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. is we move it again. I say we move it to like closer to the middle of the country, like Kansas City or something like that. We can take the Capitol building. It's a beautiful building. We can take that, and the Treasury Department, even though there's nothing in it. The White House. Take all the nice, cool buildings, Supreme Court building, Smithsonian, move them all out to Kansas City. Because what do you do when you move all that stuff? You clean out and you just get rid of a bunch of junk that we don't need. And I can't think of anything that's got a lot of junk just sitting around that we don't need anymore than the federal government. So move the Capitol, clean it out. It's just a thought. It's not going to happen, but we all have our dreams. Hey, what do you say the Corps Discovery takes a look and see what old TJ bought May 14th, 1804. 216 years ago today, the Corps of Discovery, the Lewis and Clark expedition, departed from Camp Du Bois and began their historic journey up the Missouri River. Now, the actual site, that's the plaque where it all began, the Lewis and Clark expedition, who pulled up stakes and started their trip 216 years ago today. The site is gone. It's under the river now. The Missouri River is covered up, Camp Du Bois, so it was sort of where it was. Congress appropriated, $2,324 for food and supplies. It ended up costing a little over $10,000, so yeah, we were busting budgets even in 1804. And one of the most remarkable things about the Corps of Discovery, and it's a really fascinating story, only one person died. Sergeant Charles Floyd was the only member of the Corps of Discovery who actually died during the expedition. That's amazing if you think about it. And he didn't die from injury. He didn't get shot by natives. He didn't fall into the river and drown. He died of appendicitis. He had acute appendicitis. He was the only member of the Corps of Discovery who didn't make it to the Pacific Ocean, but they started their trip on this date, 216 years ago today. Happy 72nd birthday to Israel. May 14th, 1848, Israel is declared to be an independent country, an independent state. A provisional government is established. Harry Truman of the United States recognized Israel immediately. All the neighboring Arab states did not. And the next day, they started fighting the Arab-Israeli War of 1948, which is basically still going on 72 years later. Egypt, of course, made their peace with the Israelis back in the late 1970s. The rest of the Arab world has not in the Middle East. Israel, 72 years old today. Johnny Carson picked the wrong day to take the day off on May 14th, 1968. It was 52 years ago today. John Lennon and Paul McCartney were doing a press junket in New York City promoting their new company called Apple Incorporated, and John Lennon and Paul McCartney made an appearance, and for the only time, John and Paul appeared on The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, which was broadcast, of course, back in those days in 1968 in New York City, but Johnny took the day off. Joe Garagiola was the host. Paul McCartney later said the interview was terrible for two reasons. Number one, Joe Garagiola had no idea what to ask them. And number two, Paul admitted after the interview he was really stoned. But John and Paul went on The Tonight Show without Johnny Carson on this date 52 years ago today. I wonder if Johnny got back to work, you mean? Who came on? What? Oh, boy. Speaking of rock and roll, we got a rock and roll birthday today. He was born Walden Robert Casoto in New York City. You know him as Bobby Darin, the great. Bobby Darin was born in this state in 1936. Didn't live very long. He had a bad heart. He knew it. They told him when he was very young that you have a bad heart, you're not going to live very long. He only lived to the age of 37. But he took advantage of his talents and the little time he had left on this planet to make a significant impact in the world of rock and roll music. Splish, Splash, Dream Lover, Mac the Knife, Beyond the Sea, If I Were a Carpenter. He was also a great actor. He got an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, and Bobby Darin was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And on merit, I might add, back in 1990, the great Bobby Darin, born in the state of 1936. Life is good for George Lucas. He's retired. Got a couple of grand in the bank. Of course, the Star Wars franchise was his brainchild. The Indiana Jones franchise was his brainchild. He first really burst on the scene when he wrote and directed American Graffiti, one of the great movies of all time. George Lucas, who sold Lucasfilm, of course, to Disney for, I think, $200 or $300, I can't remember. George Lucas is 76 years old today, enjoying retirement. This ain't no party, this ain't no disco, this ain't no fooling around. It's David Byrne's birthday. He's 68 years old today. The leader of the Talking Heads, always a good listen to David Byrne. Happy 68th for that gentleman. Mark Zuckerberg is 36 years old today. When he was 23 years old, he became the first ever self-made billionaire at the age of 23, the youngest self-made billionaire ever. There were other billionaires at the age of 23, but their money was inherited. Mark earned his. His net worth, by the way, I looked this up this morning, he's estimated to be worth about $76 billion. Facebook has been good to Mark Zuckerberg. And happy birthday to the Gronk, Rob Gronkowski, who's coming back to the NFL because his good buddy Tom Brady decided to keep playing. Rob Gronkowski, the greatest tight end in the history of the National Football League. I think he gets that honor. 3 times a Super Bowl champion, 4 times first team All-Pro, 4 times All-American. He was on the NFL All-Decade team, on the NFL All-Century team, and he's coming back to play more football. How are you, Gronk? Party animal, 31 years old today. All right, going to take a break. Mike McNally's got an opinion, as I mentioned at the top of the show. Joshua Freed, who is running as a Republican for governor of the state of Washington. He's the former mayor of Bothell. He was doing a tour. He came by our studios earlier in the week, and Joshua Freed had a chance to sit down with our very own Cal FitzSimmons. We'll have that short interview for you when we come back. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2 and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
My name is Anaisa Lemus, and I teach at John Newberry Elementary. I had a tooth in the front that was just always causing me problems. It was just happening so regularly. I went to go get a root canal done, and the root canal didn't help a whole lot because then it came back. Both of my parents went to Dr. Divis's office. They really recommended him because he had done such a great job on their teeth. I went and really have had a really pleasant experience with him. He just made me feel really at ease with everything. He was really confident with what he was doing. He said, you know, this is one of his favorite parts of his job, which really made it easier for me because, you know, when you're really passionate about something, you know, they're going to do a good job. As a teacher, my students, you know, I'll tell them randomly sometimes, oh yeah, with my fake tooth. They're always so shocked. Like, what? It looks like your real tooth. And I'm really happy with the results now.
This is Dr. John Divis. Please call us today.
Pybus Public Market restaurants are open for takeout and our fresh produce, meats, and seafood shops open for pickup. Go to www.pybusmarket.org, click on the red Pybus Market and COVID-19 button to view hours, menus, and place orders online. We are grateful for your continued support of the Pybus Public Market, restaurants, and merchants. Mike's Meats and Seafood, Royal Produce, Little Red's Bakery and Espresso, Fire and Ice, and Pybus Bistro.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine-in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Water is essential to living. From clean drinking water for good health to clean water for your pool or spa. Central Washington Water, your water experts. With whole home water filtration systems for your home's best water. Products and supplies to keep your pool and spa water crystal clear. To a full parts department. Count on Central Washington Water for expert help. Shop screen to screen. Come in or call about a backyard consultation. Central Washington Water, your water care professionals.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, let's say somebody does something good, like help win World War II, but on the other hand, they display racist and white supremacist tendencies. Now, does Winston Churchill come to mind? Or let's say someone else devotes their life to serving the poor of Calcutta, but they're also accused of not supplying adequate pain meds because of her belief that the poor need to suffer like Christ. Now, does Mother Teresa come to mind? Now, let's face it, we're all human, and even the best of us has our dark spots. Sometimes we need to recognize human weakness and realize that none of us totally measures up. But I don't care how great of a comedian or a father you are. If you drug and rape women, you've crossed the line. Does Bill Cosby come to mind? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 6th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tabor.
I'm Mike. And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the doghouse?
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around north central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
Since the minute we closed, we have been focused on our responsibility for keeping our teams, our members, and our community safe for when we reopen. So we've been aggressively adopting best-in-class sanitizing technologies, processes, and member guidelines. We're building that into our daily operations right now. We're calling that Works Member Shield system. It's still going to take each of us to protect all of us, but with Works Member Shield, we think that's possible.
So what brings you to Wenatchee, first of all?
I've just taken a 39-county tour across Washington for 14 days, visiting all 4 parts of our beautiful state, taking the message of our campaign out, and also listening to the concerns of voters across Washington state.
What are they concerned about?
The biggest concern right now is what's happening with the COVID crisis and then the response to it. You know, we all were doing the stay home, stay safe on a voluntary basis, and then it turned into a punitive action from the governor saying that he's going to bring the lawsuits, or he's going to bring legal matters forward with enforcing actions with penalties or arrests or taking away people's business licenses, which caused a great concern because a lot of people are truly struggling in Washington state when it comes to economics, where I'm hearing stories that some people can't pay their mortgage or their rent, they can't pay their utilities, and struggling to even pay for groceries and milk. And so when they're considered under this governor non-essential and they can't work, at the same time they're trying to get unemployment, but 788,000 people have applied for unemployment in the last 2 weeks, and those checks just are not coming. And so people are in a place where they're saying, do I go back to work and break the rules? Because I'm looking at my kids and my family, and I'm not able to provide for them. So they've been put in an extremely difficult place. So economic recovery is a big message of what we're working on here in this campaign.
How does that get done, that accelerated return to normal, or without endangering the public?
That's a very fair question. I think it's not a choice that we go back to work and we're unsafe. I think it could be both. I think we can go back to work and do so in a safe manner. I know in the construction industry, I've been involved in real estate investment for 15 years, and on our sites we have safety briefings every week. And so construction certainly knows how to get to work and do so in a safe manner. Manufacturing can have the same thing. So it's just, it shouldn't be essential and non-essential. It should be, can you go back to work safely? And I think that people would truly realize what's happening with the COVID crisis right now and realize that they can conduct themselves in a manner that keeps themselves safe, their neighbors safe, and any people who would come into their retail establishments or other medical facilities safely.
What about public gatherings? I know that I think your lawsuit was related to public gatherings.
Sure.
Because the church services were lumped in with all public gatherings. Is there a safe time on the horizon for those to resume?
I think so. I mean, thankfully, the further we get into this crisis, we're truly understanding more about it. When we first entered about 8 weeks ago, it was new, and everyone was learning and trying to find the science and the data to understand what the COVID is all about. And we even heard just last week from Governor Cuomo in New York that the death rate is around 0.1%. And so it's not as deadly as we originally thought, which is good. And you know, no loss of life is something that we want. We want to make sure that we're protecting human life. And so we miss those who have left. But at the same time, we understand that here in Washington State, we have 7.5 million people. And my heart breaks for the 850 people that have died so far, but we also have another 7.5 million people that are truly suffering today, meaning they can't work or they're not all fully considered essential. And so the more people we can get back to work, the more that we can move forward with our economy. Listen, Seattle has the highest increase in the unemployment rate in the nation. So truly, this stay-at-home order under the governor is impacting us greater than anywhere else in the nation.
Is there anything political behind what Governor Inslee is doing?
Well, my concern is it is political. My concern is some of the essential companies he's chosen are some of those that he has invested in himself, whether it might be Boeing or Microsoft. So by picking winners and losers arbitrarily without using science and data, it's caused some great concerns and wondering from folks that I've talked to, what are the motivations of this governor? Because right now science is showing that cases have dropped off every day for the last 30 days. And from federal regulations, we're seeing that if it's decreased for 14 days, we should be allowed to open up. So right now we have 11 states in the nation that are under full lockdown. Other 39 states are under now opening for business, ultimately are fully open for business. We need to be moving more quickly in that direction, or the damage from the treatment is going to be worse than the COVID itself.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Get your yard sign or banner made for your graduating senior today. Order from your local sign company, Color FX in Cashmere. Banners, signs, and more. Call Color FX today. Wheat's Cafe fresh-made breakfast, lunch, and lattes are still available for takeout. Call ahead, order online, or stop on by. Support this local business, Weeds Cafe.
Bombfile Boats and Motors is open. Following social distancing practices, Bombfiles is open for service and sales.
The world around us is constantly changing. Major employers in North Central Washington have expressed a need for capable, qualified engineering technologists who can think critically and solve problems. And at Wenatchee Valley College, we listened. We are pleased to offer a Bachelor of Applied Science Engineering Technology degree to provide you with a world of new opportunities. Your time is now. The future is waiting for you.
And we have returned 54 minutes after the hour. We had enough time. We wanted to repeat our top story of the day today. It's getting a lot of reaction on social media, and that's the decision by Mayor Carl Floria of Leavenworth to close its downtown streets, the busy downtown streets of Leavenworth. Starting tomorrow at 10 a.m., those streets will be closed to vehicles and parking. They're going to be barricaded off, and they're going to remain closed for the foreseeable future. Our very own Jefferson Robbins had a chance to visit with the mayor of Leavenworth to explain his decision.
This past weekend, there was 80%, I would say, you know, it wasn't stuffed full, but 80% of the parking spaces in the downtown were full. People then just walking on the sidewalks, not being able to, you know, socially space and not attempting to. And quite frankly, not enough masks being worn. And that really has me concerned because, you know, we are unique in that we are asking people to come here from the four corners and visit us. It's a melting pot, if you would, of virus activity, and it certainly could be. So we have got to get control of that, and we've got to set a pattern that's much more safety oriented for our guests, for our workers, for our business, for our residents. I mean, we have all of those that we have got to get right. As I tell the business community over and over, you know, we've got one chance to open this thing up, and if we don't do it right, if it comes back in a big way, this virus, it's going to be worse. I mean, the only thing worse than not opening is opening and then watching it have to shut back down again, and maybe be longer the next time than we've got now.
Well, Leavenworth businesses, from hotels to restaurants to taverns, all are to knick-knack shops, all are built on don't stay away, please come. So what are you hearing from the business community since your letter went out just yesterday on the 12th of May?
Well, and I've been meeting with businesses long before that. So like I said, we've been talking about solutions and how to open up, and I hand it to them. They get it. They know that they've got to do this right. And I've had what I call a focus group that's made up both a medical representative from Chelan Douglas Health District on it, our local hospital, you know, as well as the businesses. We're all talking, we've been talking, and for the most part, like I said, they get it. They're anxious to open up, but they also know that we've got to do it right.
Leavenworth came back from economic devastation by becoming a tourist village. Do you have concerns that this kind of thing is going to be a detriment to its long-term health?
In getting elected, I talked about what does a sustainable tourism economy look like. And I think this is going to help us to have those discussions. A sustainable tourism economy is not one that just insists on continuing to grow and expand and get bigger and whatever. It's a quality of experience that you want to go for. And I think we need to diversify. You know, we need some other, if you would, kind of light industrial or light manufacturing. I mean, a good example is the Icicle Brewing that has a new facility outside of the downtown core. They started in their one shop downtown. Now they've got a big facility out on County Shop Road. So I think there's other opportunities for similar that could be woven into our culture and our tourism, but also semi-independent of that, so that it could be and would expand our economic, if you would, beyond just a sole reliance on tourism.
And that's a quick look at our top story on this Thursday morning. We got a couple of minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look at that forecast one more time. As you can see, the sun ain't going to be around a great deal over the next few days. What's going on is there's a low pressure system. It's right off the coast of the state of Washington. It's slowly moving its way from west to east. It's going to give us some light sprinkles. If it was lower in the atmosphere, lower in elevation, it would give us some heavier rain, but it's pretty up there. But it is going to be circulating around. It's going to feed us just light sprinkles off and on throughout the course of the day today, at a high today of about 65 degrees. We need the rain, though. 47 for the overnight low tonight. No real chance of thunderstorms, by the way, today or tonight. It's simply too cool for that. Beautiful day tomorrow. Friday looks to be very nice. Quite a bit of sunshine, high of 74 degrees. Friday night, it'll be clear, 50 for the overnight low. You're going to wake up Saturday morning early to quite a bit of sunshine, but it's not going to take very long for the next weak system to come in. It's not going to give us any real rain on Saturday. We're looking dry, but we're looking mild. A high of about 74, but again, no sun expected on Saturday. Saturday night is when the rain begins. We're looking at a good chance of overnight rain. You'll be sleeping, but it's going to happen Saturday night. Overnight low of about 56. We're looking at rain pretty much all day on Sunday. Showers with the possibility of a late afternoon thunderstorm. We're not looking at significant rainfall on Sunday afternoon. And if we do get some thunderstorms, the big concern there is lightning as opposed to torrential rain or hail or something like that. And we close out the weekend with a high of 72. Unsettled weather, which is typical for this time of the year. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.